Hello everyone. Okay, so today we are going to build a wagon wheel. Let's start by getting rid of the default cube. Press K. I usually like to turn these things off. Turn smart switch on, turn union on, cut through is off, and let's not forget to add a new object. Let's call it wagon wheel. Alright, so we are ready. It's simple. We are first going to start drawing the simple silhouette. The shape I'm going to draw, we're going to spin it. So let's start with this. And let's create a little, let's enter and K. Press 0 to get out of the user cam, expand the menu, and here click on spin. We want to change the axis to Z, and here you are. We need a bit more resolution for this, so let's quadruple this. 64 should do it nicely. Alright, so this is going to be our wheel. Let's check to see how it bevels. Nice. And let's go back to the camera, turn it on, because we're going to now create the outer rim, metal rim. This time I think I'm just going to draw it by hand. Press K again. Good. As you see, it's also already done, because SketchN'Carve remembers the settings. Basically keeps them until you change them. Now what we need to do is to get rid of this gap there. Let's see, is the wireframe on? Yes. Click on Edit Spin Profile. Turn this on again so we can see. And I'm going to translate this on X-axis a tad. Like this. Of course it wants to jump. If you don't want the camera to keep jumping around like this, exit to the user camera. Okay, maybe that was too much. Okay, so this is the originals, and this is, that's perfect. And bevel is fine. Now, and let's build the center area. Again, let's turn this off. I'm just going to draw it by hand. It's a shape like this, and I think you can hear my doggy. He's complaining about something. Okay, press K. Now 64 is a little too much. Maybe 32. Since it's the inner core. And we can also, of course, play with the shape, overall shape. If you feel that you lost too much detail here, you can reduce the simplification. So yeah, this is no simplification, and this is some, maybe about there. You can also smooth it, but no, we don't want that. Okay, so that's pretty much. If the center area is too big, let me show you what else you can do. Since we have the Edit Spin Profile section open, you can translate, rotate, and scale. And if you scale it in X, essentially you'll be making it thinner, like this. Or you can make it really, really big. Here. I'll leave it as it was. You can also, of course, rotate, do things like this, but in this case we don't need any of those. So now, how to build the spikes? Let's go to the camera view again, and let's, you know what, I think I'm just going to draw it by hand. Let's turn this thing off. This is as far as I want to get. And let's draw a shape like this. No, I don't like that. Let's do it again. I want a little bit of a curvature to it. Okay, so as you can see, it's very wobbly. But naturally, since we are using grease pencil, we can just go and take advantage of grease pencil tools and smooth it out of it. Go back to draw and okay, simply press K again, and obviously we don't want to spin it this way. Instead, come here and change the axis to X, and let's reduce the resolution to maybe 16, half of that. Okay, so you can see some artifacts are appearing here. If you turn on the X-ray, you'll see that the shape is looping on itself from one end to the other, and if you don't want that to happen, simply turn off volume here and loop, and what it'll end up doing is it'll just put a cover polygon here and here. Okay, so, and that should give us nice clean geometry. So we got one spike, but without exiting this window, we also want to duplicate it around the wheel. How do we do that? We have the array modifier here. Click on array, turn on the options. Now, array count, normally the default is here is 1 meter here, like this, and obviously we don't want that. Just take that one, make X offset 0, and what we'd like to do is spin this around, duplicate it around in a circular fashion. So click on the circular array and make the copies, number of copies 12, and X, Y, Z, we want to spin it around Z axis since Z is pointing up and the wheel is lying on its side. Now when we click on this, you'll see that. Now normally if you ever get weird results like this, it's because you need to press this button. In the spin modifier, there's a button that says before array. So it simply changes the order of operations. So if you click this, it'll put the spin modifier ahead of array. So naturally we'll first spin it, then make duplicates. So leave that on. We have 12 copies here. This doesn't look very evenly spaced. So we have 12 copies. We want to spin it 360 degrees. The easiest way to calculate that is simply on Z axis here on circular array, that 360 divided by 12 copies that we have. Press enter, and 30 degrees is what we need. And here's a lovely looking wagon wheel. It can be colored colors. And let's turn on smooth shading, and maybe turn off these and turn on global bevel just to take a look. Oh, not bad. Maybe the spikes are a little too thin, come to think of it. So let's go back here. Temporarily I'm going to mute array. Come here, and in the spin profile, let's translate the shape we drew up a bit in Z axis, like that. Let's see, maybe that's a little too much. Okay, so 0.01 seems to be just fine. Maybe I wonder if we should rotate it a tad a bit the other way. Yeah, and naturally we can also smooth the shape a bit. Or if we rotate, maybe we don't need the rotation. Okay, I think I can live with that one. So all you have to do is just turn on array, and we're back in business with bevels and all. Here you are, one wagon wheel. Well, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.